The first trial, aka Percival Rackham's trial, is a main story quest in Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm going to tell you how to solve all the puzzles and complete this trial. We get the quest after speaking with the portrait of Percival Rackham in the map chamber at Hogwarts. The portrait tells us the whereabouts of the first trial and actually explains why we need to complete those trials in the first place. Anyway, Professor Fig offers to go there first and we should join him later. Most probably you'll fly there on a broomstick because it's quite far away from the castle. And upon arrival, you will discover the Floo location Sandbaker's Tower. Professor Fig would kinda help the main character defeat a bunch of goblins that await you at the entrance of an old tower, but he cannot assist you on completing the trial. It is because according to the conditions of the keepers, the person who wields the ancient magic only has to do everything on their own. And by the way, if you care about picking up all the loot, like I do, I would suggest that you search all the chests in the yard where you fight the goblins and then in the tower before starting the quest directly. The trial starts on the ground floor of the tower. That's where you see the traces of the ancient magic and open up the doorway to the quest area. The quest begins in a spacious, cave-like location, similar to those we have already seen in Gringotts and in the restricted section of the library. Very soon we approach a broken bridge, and the Revelio won't show you any hints on how to fix it. So from here you should just turn right or left and go down the stairs. Beneath the platform you will find a whirl of ancient magic that you can interact with to restore the broken bridge. And don't miss a loot chest right behind it. When you come back to the top platform, you'll see the mirror that leads you to what seems another reality or looking glass or something of this kind. That's where you head to, and mind that two loot chests would appear on each side of the bridge right in the middle. The shaken bridge leads you to a great round hall, where you find another loot chest and yet another ancient magic whirl. This whirl obviously activates the archway right in the center of the hall. So now you have only one way through the arch back to the new reality. And this new reality is not exactly welcoming because our actions have awakened a couple of quite aggressive stone knights. And you will need a course to defeat them all to make your way further in the trial. There is also a small detail for those who want all the loot like me. If after the fight with the knights you return back to the passageway you came from and cast a basic spell on the glittering sign, the bridge will restore again and you can find another chest on the opposite side of the hall that hadn't been there before. Then you go back to the room where you fought the protectors and proceed to the next hall. This is where the party actually begins. In this hall you'll find a floating platform that can be pulled and pushed by either Accio or Depulso. And you actually start the task by pulling the platform close so that you can step on it. Now cast Accios on the glittering hooks in the walls to be able to move where you need on the platform. Here on the right side of the hall you'll see the familiar magic whirl, so that's where you go. And basically after launching the ancient magic here, it is clear that you need to make your way through the arch to the next hall. Only if you simply walk through the arch there, you'll find the reality changes and there is a dead end in the next room. So in the trials, you will always switch between the realities by crossing the archway or walking through the mirrors, and the realities can be either blue or red. In this specific hall, you want to cross to the next room by choosing the red reality. But first, of course, I will start with looting all the chests. First, we travel to the central platform and then go back to the platform where we started. And from here, you can travel to the opposite wall and loot the last chest in this hall. And finally, you catch the last hook in the hall, and this will allow you to land behind the archway without walking under it. And this way you can proceed to the next hall in the red reality. Next thing, you meet a bunch of pensive protectors as usually, and immediately after this fight comes the most challenging puzzle in the first trial. Here you see one platform floating in the air and you want to bring this platform to the opposite wall. In order to do this, you want to climb up the staircase on the right side of the hall. And if you cast your Revelio from here, you will see the traces of ancient magic, and you will know where exactly you need to put the platform. So you cast an Accio to the platform, step on it, and investigate the ancient magic whirl. As you see, now the portal or the archway in the middle of the hall is activated, and this means that you can switch between the realities in this hall either. So here we start in the red reality, and there is a bridge that blocks the way for the floating platform to the opposite side of the hall, where await to the next room must be. If we switch to the blue reality, the bridge is gone, but we cannot climb onto the platform to get to the opposite side. So here is what you should do. Bring the platform closer to the exit side of the hall and go back to the archway in the blue reality. And before I forget, if you want to loot the chest, which is on the left side of the hall, you should do this also in the blue reality. You just go up the stairs, call the platform within Accio and go to the chest. Anyway, back to solving the quest puzzle. We are in the blue reality, walk under the arch from the same side and then immediately go back to switch for the red reality. I cannot tell you how many tries it took me to understand this system, because when you solve the puzzle, it looks of course very easy and you cannot understand what took you so long. So anyway, from the archway you climb up the stairs, call the platform within Accio and move to the exit of the hall. Also make sure you pick up the loot from the chest to the right of the door and proceed along the passageway to another huge hall. A group of not really friendly knights meet you there, and I think it is the biggest fight during the first trial, except for the boss fight of course. There are quite a few protectors in this specific location. Take them all down and you're ready for the next puzzle of the Rackham's trial. This one is actually quite tricky. We start with investigating the ancient magic and then Accio the platform that will move us forward. Drag the platform to the right wall and then from this position hold on to the hook on the opposite side of the archway. Here is a chest with the loot, I never miss one. And then walk onto the arch. And by the way, you may notice that the color of reality doesn't change if you walk from this side to the opposite. So we continue in the red reality, you Accio the platform again and step onto it. If you come a little closer to the archway, you can see through that on the opposite side of the arch appears a platform in the blue reality. So now you technically only need to cast an Accio to this blue reality platform, come closer to it, walk onto it, and then proceed to the opposite side of the cave. And here you go, next location. It is very similar to the previous ones. Another long passageway, another staircase. And by the way, don't forget to take the 2 bottles of the Wiggenweld potion at the bottom of the stairs. And the exit from this location is quite tricky actually. It got me a little confused the first time I got here. Actually, the thing is following. The door doesn't have any interaction buttons on it, so you just need to stand very close to it and wait until it opens. First time I didn't get it, so I just turned back to the cave location and tried to figure out what went wrong actually. I was trying to switch the reality somehow to bring up the platform to another side of the cave and so on. It drove me crazy. I spent like 20 minutes trying to solve the puzzle which had already been solved. So don't repeat my mistakes, just proceed to the door and wait until it opens. So now the next hall is the boss location. You combat a couple of average stone knights and then you fight against the biggest stone knight. And this is the moment where those Wiggenweld potions you found before entering the room can prove useful actually. After defeating all the pensive protectors, you can finally learn the trial's secret. So you go to the final hall of the Rackham's trial to pick up another pensive memory. Kinda saw that coming with all the pensive protectors we had to fight against during the trial. There are so many puzzles in the Hogwarts Legacy game, and who's more capable of solving puzzles than Ravenclaw students? How come Ravenclaw gets so little attention from the developers compared to the other houses? Check out my video to see the possible reasons for this. And I hope this video was useful for you. Thank you for your attention. See you at Hogwarts. Nox.